boy was looking for work. Carl offered him food, drink, and a bunk for the night. By morning, he was gone. Carl claimed he killed him, tied a weight to the body, and dumped it into the Atlantic. When asked why, his answer was simple. He was there. That's what made Carl so terrifying. There was no pattern, no motive in the traditional sense. He didn't kill out of passion or fear or even gain. He killed because he wanted to. He once bragged that his only pleasures in life were sexual assaults, robbery, and murder. And he meant it. He sexually assaulted men. That part of his story is often left out because it's uncomfortable, too disturbing even for true crime. But Carl was clear about it. In his own words, he committed hundreds of assaults. He said it gave him power, control. He used sex as a weapon, and he saw no difference between physical violence and psychological terror. It was all the same currency to him. In Africa, he worked for a time as a labor overseer in Angola, under an alias. What he did there is mostly guesswork, because local authorities didn't record crimes committed by foreigners in those days. But Carl claimed he once hired 6 local men to help with manual labor. He led them deep into the bush, shot each one in the back, and left their bodies for the animals. Why? Because he wanted to see if he could get away with it. And he did. He always did. That's what's so haunting about Carl Panzram. For almost 2 decades, moved through the world unchecked. America, Mexico, the UK, France, even parts of India. He left traces in all of them. Sometimes a stolen item, sometimes a body. But he always kept moving, always under a new name, always just one step ahead of whatever system was supposed to catch men like him. And then there's the fire. One night in the early 1920s, Carl set an entire oil refinery ablaze in New Jersey, just because it made him angry to look at. He hated industry. He hated capitalism. He hated the idea that some men could live comfortably, while others, like him, were chewed up by the system and spat out. So he burned it down. No arrests, no suspects. The insurance company blamed faulty wiring. It was Carl. In his writings, there's a chilling passage where he talks about how easily he could have become something much bigger. He said if he'd had more education, more resources, he would have made explosives, planted bombs, and wiped out entire cities. Not for a cause, not for politics, just to watch the world burn. His words, not mine. He wrote, "If you people had what it takes to see the inside of me, you'd hang me 1,000 times." But maybe the most disturbing part of all this is that he wasn't insane. He wasn't delusional. Every word in his manuscript is articulate, deliberate. It's not the rambling of a madman. It's the manifesto of someone who knew exactly what he was doing and didn't care who got hurt. Some psychiatrists later speculated that he might have had antisocial personality disorder, maybe even psychopathy. But Carl rejected all that. He didn't blame his brain, he blamed people. He said, "I was no different than any other boy, but I was treated like an animal, and I became one." It's impossible to say how much of his story is true. Carl was a liar, by trade and by instinct.